first round of NBA playoffs is behind us, so let's go to some of the biggest disappointments in that round. At start, we have Miami and Orlando. Miami right now is some weird state which nobody knows what's actually going on, and you can see in the result they got swept, but to be fair to them, nobody expected they're gonna have some kind of crazy playoff run or anything, even having similar chance of winning against Cleveland. Similar story goes with Orlando, but they actually managed to get one victory, but even they are in some weird limbo where they're just missing some pieces to actually be a competitive team for the playoffs. On number 5 we have Houston Rockets. I mean, this team was second seed in the West, but it desperately needs some leadership. This team, especially in the game 4 where they had to close the game, you can see the last possession, Vanderbilt just runs, starts tripping and calls a timeout instead of just going for the bucket and allows Golden State Warriors to recoup. He throws the ball then to the Şengün, who is just too young and doesn't have an experience, and just get bullied by Draymond Green, and it ends up being Golden State Warriors possession and the ball. Last game, game 7. I mean, it was a weird energy. I mean, I think there is a one possession where Vanderbilt is just they are going offensively 4 against 2, and he decides to take some wild 3-point shot instead of just passing the ball for the sure bucket. I mean, every time they would go on offense, you see they are lacking for the solution or any sort of leadership. I think they are really one guy away from being a really good championship team, because coach is great, the rest of the team is great, but it's just they don't have that guy who can close the game and go just to finish. I mean, they made the run to actually come back in the game in game 7, but that was not enough. I still think they are just maybe I'm not gonna say Kevin Durant or anybody like that, but one guy who could basically you can rely on and be the responsible who's gonna go for that last shot in the game. Because I mean, you are second seed in the West. Okay, even Warriors were at the end of the season decent team, but sure as shit you should not lose this series. Number 3, it has to be Memphis Grizzlies. I know that nobody had like big expectations from them, but I mean, that game where you lost almost 30 points lead, I mean, it's just embarrassing. I don't know how do you go over that. I mean, okay, they got swept, but that game where you got swept, you got smoked by 30 points, your own lead, and you just go down like that. I mean, I just don't know where you move from this team in further on. Or is there any chance you can in near future consider them a championship contender team? Number 3, LA Lakers. I mean, what the hell was that? I mean, they didn't get swept in 4 games. They got swept in 5 games, because that win they had in game 2, they didn't won that game. Basically, Minnesota just lost it because they were playing poor just pathetically. I mean, and you saw in first 2 games, Luka starts playing, hits 15-16 points. Then you have LeBron James going 0 from 4 and Austin Reeves 0 from 5. I mean, it's like they didn't get any memo that the playoffs even started. And it's like, I understand, team has no size, dude. And it was horribly coached. I mean, 5 games and not single game you scored more than 20 points in the last quarter. And even that bullshit tactic of JJ Redick playing the same 5 guys the whole second half. I mean, we all saw how that paid off. And I don't know even how this team is gonna proceed in the future, considering that there is rumors right now that LeBron is not gonna take any less money, that he's gonna play again for 50 mil. I mean, team started as a joke. I don't even know how the fuck they ended up being number 3 in the West, considering it when the season started, you had LeBron taking 50 mil, hiring his buddy as a coach, and drafting his own kid to be teammate in I don't know what, just to hang around with him, because he sure didn't come to play. And because of all of that, I don't see in future that anything is gonna change for this and what's gonna happen with them. Number 2, oh boy, Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers. At this point, dude, Pacers have their number, dude. And the way the series ended of just Trent Jr. dropping that ball, they had the lead, you have the possession, and he drops the ball, and this guy, Tyrese Haliburton, goes and finishes. I think the moment he dropped that ball, Giannis said, bro, I'm not even going in your guys' locker room, I'm out. And I think this is probably for the best, because, dude, Indiana Pacers were and they are the stepping stone for Milwaukee Bucks, and I just don't see where that team is gonna go. Especially if Giannis goes and says, you know what, guys, I'm just done, pull the plug. There is a good chance they immediately they're gonna trade Dame, who's right now injured, and it was basically total bust if we are talking trade-wise. And there is potentially to trade even Kyle Kuzma, because, just give me a second. There is really no point waiting, because Giannis is 30 years old, and if he goes, you immediately needed to trade Dame, and there is not even a point of keeping Kyle Kuzma. You could probably get some assets there, and considering that if at that stage you only have 4 players for the next season, and you can bet your ass that none of these guys who have player option is gonna pick it up. I think this is the perfect moment, because if you wait any longer, they're gonna lose on value, and with Dame and his injuries, I'm just not sure how smart idea that's gonna be keeping him around. And Giannis even wasting more years in this team, which absolutely has, in my opinion, no chance, because there is so many other things younger, getting better and better on East. You can see Knicks, Pacers, even Detroit Pistons, but more about them in a bit. At number 1, we have referees, or the league itself. That embarrassing shit in Game 4 which happened between Detroit and Knicks, come on. To miss that kind of call, and then you make a statement that you missed it, like you didn't make it, which, it's so messed up, because if Detroit won that game, bro, they are going 2-2, and they won the next game. This time they went 3-1, being -2 games, and fucking Tim Hardaway Jr., dude. If there is one guy you can count, he's gonna disappoint you when you need him the most, it's a Tim Hardaway Jr. And it was such a pathetic attempt. It didn't look that he's trying to make a shot. It was like desperate need for some kind of acting. I'm gonna get the free throws, bro. And he made such a hard call to make for the refs. They didn't even watch it and just said, fuck it, let's go it. And Detroit, meanwhile, left screwed over, which I think after Denver and LA Clippers, New York Knicks and Pistons were the second best series to watch in the playoffs so far. Which is kind of concerning for New York Knicks, because they are right now going against Celtics. And I don't know, if you got smoked so much from the Detroit Pistons and they gave you so much trouble, I don't know how you're gonna manage Celtics. But you know what? Big up Detroit Pistons, because after that horrendous season of last year where they set the record for most lost games in the NBA history, to come back like this, I think this team has a really big potential. And shout out to my guy Malik Beasley. This guy became my my favorite player. He's the craziest motherfucker dude in the league. This dude is gonna take 10 3-point attempts no matter what. He can make all 10 of them, or he can miss all 10. And he is actually one of the guys who in the last game kind of kept Detroit in the game, but unfortunately it played how it is. Unfortunately for the Detroit Pistons, I hope for them they get better and get some even more talent in the future. That's all, guys. Take care.